and they were going to search the house to try to find.
I want you to listen to this man, and this is a video that he actually posted on YouTube. Listen to this.
A missing dog. So they,
Pay attention to his eye movement, how his eyes are shifting, how he cannot maintain direct eye contact. Now, when you watch a person who's lying, they're not going to maintain eye contact with the camera. Their eyes are shifting because they have to remember the version of the truth that they're telling. Also, I think he pretty much knows that what he's saying is a lot of BS. Listen to this.
and I was like, well, there's definitely a missing dog in my house. And they said, well, we need to find your wife's dog. You need to tell us where it's at. And I was like, well, for one thing,
His
if there
eyes are
was a dead
moving.
dog, it was not going to be in my house.
That's true.
So when they asked me, where's the dog? Where's the dog? I was like, the dog was right there. I was talking about Jax. Jax was our pit bull that we had.
Now, the police asked to see the wife's dog. So he's playing the fool. And the question is he a fool, or is he just playing the fool, or is he a fool playing the fool? But he definitely doesn't know the sentence that you can't fool everybody all of the time, even if you can fool some of the people some of the time.
For a while. He started killing all of our farm animals, so we gave him to a friend. But when he was asking, where's the dog? Where's the dog? They were kind of crowding around me like they were going to just arrest me, which they didn't have an arrest warrant. They had a search warrant.
So his eyes are constantly shifting, and he's like, he's the victim. Janelle is also the victim. These people are always going to be victims. So these are the kind of people in school that are like bullies, and then they never take responsibility. They choose to attack uh, others that are unable to protect themselves. And they clearly said, where's your wife's dog? And he pointed to, he thought that, so what he says is very confusing. He's very confusing because, like, did you get any information about what's happening? So he said, oh, I thought the police meant the dog there. And then he starts talking about a pit bull that they just gave away that killed all the farm animals. Now, I don't know what you know about dogs, but dogs don't just start killing. Pit bulls are no exception. I mean, this cat has never killed anything. This dog has never killed anything, and she has a Jack Russell in her. So she's a hunter. And a pit bull doesn't just start killing farm animals. And a previous video, they talk about how the dog was attacking the kids, attacking. So this is not the first dog they had that's attacking. So instead of taking responsibility for not being able to manage a dog, they take another dog and another dog. And the same pattern occurs with their children. Instead of realizing, Janelle, when you're 16 and pregnant doing teen mom, that you're unable to raise your son and you give him to your mother and you're busy doing drugs with your boyfriends, and then going online and attracting always the same sort of men. So saying, stop, I need to think about what I'm doing. Stop, think about what I'm doing. It's always somebody else's fault. And in this case, David blames the police. The police is at fault.
And so I was like, well, there's Jax right there. I don't know what you're talking about. So I
Huh.
basically,
They were asking about your wife's dog. They weren't asking about Jack's. And now you just said that you gave him away. So you're lying to the camera, and you actually nobody forced you. Nobody held a gun to your head and said, make a video, YouTube, where you're lying. You actually posted a YouTube where you're lying. And you cannot even say one sentence without contradicting yourself, which makes me think either he's mentally challenged, or there's another possible explanation to a person not being able to phrase a sentence that makes sense, that is actually saying something, and that is called drugs and alcohol abuse. And if you abuse alcohol and drugs, your brain doesn't really work well. And it's all like mishmash. And also, you're not able to give limits to animals or children. So, why do you think it's not okay for society to intervene and protect those who cannot protect themselves, like animals or children? Why do you think you can just do whatever you want to? Why do you think you're above the law? And why are you making these videos on YouTube trying to get sympathy of people?
Played dumb the entire time. I had nothing to tell them. Anything that I did on my property, with my property, was absolutely none of their business.
So maybe you don't know the law, but there's a law in every country that I know in the Western world that protects animals from abuse. An animal is not property. It has a right not to be abused. It has a right not to be shot to death. Shooting a dog is not a humane way of handling a dog. If your dog has aggression, there are experts, first of all. US is not some sort of like, you're not on an island in the South Pacific. There are many capable people who are trained in handling animals. And if this problem occurs again and again and again, why in the world would you not go and consult an expert in dog behavior? First of all. Number two,
David was
why,
like, I gotta
why
go.
this
And
woman,
my friend's husband went with David.
why does this woman choose to constantly make videos where she's crying and blaming the whole entire world and never takes responsibility? She has videos where she talks against her mother, who is a saint. There's no other word to describe a woman who actually takes on her daughter's child and attempts to raise him at an age where people are in retirement. They go to Florida and they sit on the beach the whole day. They don't raise small kids at her age. And yet this woman chooses to help her daughter. And does she get a thank you? No, this woman badmouths her own mother and